All right, and welcome back here to episode 2 of Grow Sports Talks. I'm just back from a wonderful, amazing trip for my little brother's 21st from Las Vegas, Nevada. And let me tell you, Blake, I had the time of my life. But nonetheless, we have a sports-filled podcast here for episode number 2, all time of the Grow Sports Talk podcast. As always, I'm Evan here with Blake. And Blake, let's get right into the action here, dude. Let's talk about some NHL news, huh? What's going on?
Yep, let's head over to the transactions of the week. The Avalanche and Rangers discussed a trade, and it went pretty quickly as they traded Calvin DeHaan, Juuso Parssinen, and 2 draft picks to the Rangers in exchange for Ryan Lindgren and Jimmy Vesey, as well as rights to defenseman Hank Kempf, who is a prospect down in the minor league system.
Yeah, it seems to me this Rangers team's really trying to make a push here, after JT Miller. I mean, Calvin DeHaan and Juuso Parssinen, not sure. I mean, Ryan Lindgren I always thought was pretty solid, but looks like they'll lose some defensemen. As it's kind of like a little swap, it looks like to me there.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think this works out for both teams. I mean, I think they're just looking to change up veteran defenseman Lindgren on the last year of his contract. So he's just looks like he wanted to move somewhere else, and the Rangers weren't going to extend him. So might as well ship him out, and they'll get a veteran and Calvin DeHaan, who's played in many playoff runs for the Lightning, Hurricanes, Islanders. So he's definitely experienced in that extent.
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. The Rangers look real good now. Just coming off a loss last night to the Capitals, which went into overtime where Tom Wilson ended that thing. But the Rangers had a shot to end it there in overtime, as that was in our picks for the day. And we would have loved to see, I think it was JT Miller from Zibanejad net that game winner in overtime, but that ended up being a 2-on-1 break down the ice for Wilson the other way. And he put it past Shesterkin. And there crushes our dreams from getting a positive K on the picks.
I was able to tune into that one at work from TNT, and when you hear Darren Pang and you see Wilson in the crease, and there it is, he tips it in. And man,
beautiful.
Shesterkin
Ovechkin also with another goal last night. I mean, that kid's moving up there, dude. He's 10 away now. I mean,
not a kid anymore, my friend.
You're right. What am I saying, kid? But you would have thought, I mean, dude, he's got 33 goals on the year, I believe it is now. I mean, that's nuts. That's more than half the team's leading goal scorers. And you've got Alex Ovechkin, veteran. Some might say number 2 overall here all time. Obviously, no one. I mean, I don't think he passes Wayne, even if he gets more goals, as well as Wayne probably has 1,000 more points. But
yeah,
it's just Wayne Gretzky for you, 99, huh?
That is why they call him the Great One, folks.
But yeah, another news there, as we see, probably the bigger trade noted as Seth Jones, the Blackhawks made his dream come true. What do you have to say about that one? I mean, it's nice to see him down there in Sunrise, Florida now in the Panthers.
I think that's a great exchange for both teams. Blackhawks in need of a goalie. Mrazek's not cutting it. Soderblom is fresh off the street.
For sure not
going to win your ball game, that's for sure. Spencer Knight shined in his first performance. I believe he had 37 saves in that one and only gave up 1. So when you see a performance like that, I think that's the confidence he needs. He's a great goalie. He's just not going to start over Bobrovsky, which many goalies won't.
Yeah. Sergei hasn't looked the best, obviously, compared to his previous seasons. But, I mean, geez, dude, you talk about a big trade. And we were talking about the other day, the Panthers now have 4 of the top 6 draft picks from the 2013 and 2014 draft, I believe. Maybe it was 2012 and 2013, though. But, I mean, Panthers are loading up for another run here at the Cup. And I can't say I don't like them to win the Cup again here.
I got to give a shout out to Drew Benjamin, big Panther fan. I mean, we were talking yesterday, and he said Seth Jones is exactly what they needed, a defenseman who's going to lock up the blue line, and he can also score when he's needed. He can go offense, he can play defense, and I mean, I think it's great for them. I think they're going for another cup now, and they're not worried about winning in the future. A lot of teams will take it slow and not go for too many trades where they're losing picks and future players like Spencer Knight, but they're going for it again, and I don't see why not.
I mean, why not? I can't even say let's go Panthers. I really don't want them to win again, but they're looking pretty good. I mean, they always have looked pretty good these past few years. But anyways, from the transactions, what do you say we get into some news now? Just kind of some trends in the NHL going on here. I think that first, well, I think the most important thing here, firstly, is you hate to see someone go down, but the other night, I believe it was Sunday night against the Golden Knights, one of the stars in the for USA, Team USA in the Four Nations, and a star across the league, Jack Hughes. I mean, on the bottom of the screen there, you can see it. He's out for the season with shoulder surgery. And we were kind of talking about, the Devils might be done, but last night against the Stars, the Devils put up a fair fight, taking them, should have been an overtime game, but Markstrom let one in with literally 3 seconds left from Thomas Harley for the Stars to win that game. But, I don't think the Devils are done. I think they've got some depth.
Yeah, for sure. Timo Meier, Jesper Bratt. I mean, they're not huge names. They're big names, but they're not going to be the star Jack Hughes is. But they're also talking amongst the league for a star forward. They're trying to get in the playoffs here, as I believe they're in the 3rd spot in the Metropolitan. I know it is pretty close between them, the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings. They're all atop the wild card and Metropolitan. But I mean, if you can make a trade and get someone first liner or second liner, I think the Devils will be fine with their goaltending and how well they defend. As Markstrom is now back, just a back-breaking loss for them down in Dallas, but I don't think that'll hurt them too bad.
And as well as we have the Oilers snapping their 5-game losing streak. It's funny, I swear the Oilers, they go on super cold streaks, super hot streaks, but the real problem for them, is whoever's in their goddamn net, this is to figure it out. Someone once told me, you just got to figure it out. And it doesn't seem like Pickard as a second goalie behind Skinner, who is not the best first goalie in the league by any means. It seems like Pickard is really, like a Chicago situation we were talking about earlier with Soderblom, just off the street. Hey, Pickard, why don't you go try to stuff some pucks? But, you've got McDavid, Draisaitl, you got Shaq Hyman, shout out to Shaq. But their offense is elite, obviously. But once it comes to net, I mean, you can't win games when you're leaving up 8 goals to the Anaheim Ducks the other night. I mean, what do we have to say about that? I mean, got a problem there.
It grinds my gears because the Hurricanes played against Pickard and he looks like prime Henrik Lundqvist, and then they play the Ducks and he can't save a beach ball. It's like, I don't know what's up with Pickard, but especially when you're playing in front of the Oilers, you should be saving pucks. I mean, they don't give up too many shots. I wasn't able to see that game. I think they just got outplayed from the get-go, but
for sure.
They were talking about trying to acquire John Gibson to be the starting goalie, or the backup goalie to Stuart Skinner. But I think John Gibson wants to be the starter, and that's why that came to a halt. But I wouldn't be surprised if that picked up here. We're filming this Thursday. Don't know if this will get out today or tomorrow, but the trade deadline is tomorrow, Friday the 7th. So I wouldn't be surprised if those talks picked right back up again.
Yeah, John Gibson's been pretty solid in the net. I believe he was in net against the Oilers, only allowing 2 goals. It might have been Dostal, but either way, 2 goals against for either one in the Anaheim net. And between him and Dostal, that's actually a pretty good 1-2 combo.
Oh, it's a great duo.
Yeah, I mean, and you got the Ducks have young talent up front, obviously. You have McTavish and Vetrano, and I mean, Zegras is always there. He's not anything as a star as he should be, but 4 goals in the first period against the Oilers, that was something else. But how about Sid the Kid, as we see there in our second point there, moving into top 10 for all-time assists? I mean, give it up for the guy. I mean, that's pretty insane.
Gordie Howe, that's a household name for hockey fans and non-hockey fans. I mean, as you see on our graphic here, I mean, the only ones ahead of him, Gretzky, Francis, Messier, Ray Bourque, Yager, who was an ageless wonder. He played forever. He's still playing. I believe.
Yeah, like the Czech Republic. He's still playing over there.
Then you got Jumbo, Joe Thornton, Adam Oates, Yzerman. I mean, just that list is ridiculous. And to see a current player on that is really impressive. And it's also cool to see from the same draft class, Alex Ovechkin, as you were speaking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you see all of the Canadians except for Yager up there, and it looks like, I mean, if you look at the numbers, I'm sure Sid still has a couple years left in the tank there as well. Um, just Lord knows how much he'll climb that list. I mean, Iserman probably he'll pass pretty easily here, as well as Oates. But you know, I love watching him play. He sets up his teammates great. He set him up great in the Four Nations final or face off. He set up McKinnon a couple times, and I mean, it's all in the talent that they have. And Pittsburgh, I believe Pittsburgh actually made a couple moves today. I think they put Michael Bunting went to the Penguin or yeah,
Predators.
Michael Bunting Predators. Yeah, Bunting left for the Predators. They did a little swap as well over there. So Bunting
Yeah.
last year on the
Penguins got
Hurricanes.
Luke Shen for the defensive
Yeah,
end. Don't know
yep.
how much he will help them as they have Eric Carlson and Letang, but still not working for them.
Nope, not at all. But is it? Do you smell that? Is it time for the deadline coming up here?
It
I can
is.
smell it just right around the corner. And speaking of that smell, yeah, what are we talking about here with the Maple Leafs and Planters? Who are they buying?
I mean, Seth Jones was a big acquisition. I think they might go for another forward. They don't really need one, but I could see them grabbing some depth for a third line center. Uh, as far as the Maple Leafs, that's a really interesting situation with Marner. If they don't feel they can re-sign him, they might try and trade him at the deadline before they get nothing for him.
Yeah,
But at the
totally.
same
And
time, you want to give him one more run at the cup because you
yeah,
don't want to trade him for a fourth liner, third liner, and then you're having a terrible chance at the cup because you just lost one of your best forwards. So that's an interesting situation. Most of these are talking about Rantanen, which is, as a Hurricanes fan, it is very interesting. This whole situation, new reports every day. Um, I believe it was the Kings and the Stars were all in apparently on Mikko Rantanen. Uh, with that being said, you would think maybe they move Wyatt Johnston, Stankov, and people like that.
yeah,
Because you're going to need to give up something pretty good to get Rantanen. And if they get Rantanen, that would be quite scary for the Western Conference and the rest of the league. I think the Stars know they need one more piece, especially with Heiskanen out, to get past the Oilers because the Oilers are just a different animal up in Edmonton in the playoffs. When that
yeah,
crowd gets going, it's like it is so tough to play there. And you know, going on to our third bullet here, I think the Hurricanes will move Rantanen at this point. I know they're saying trade talks are uh, they're keeping going, but I don't I don't think there's any reason to trade him. I don't think he will re-sign right now. I think that's the main problem. But you got to give him some time. I mean, he's been in Raleigh for maybe 2 weeks total, and he got
yeah.
traded a month or two ago. So you can't say too much about, oh, he's not signing right now or they're not going to get anything. I think he'll love it here. And Aho, Kokniemi, two Finnish guys that he's become good friends with. So with that being said, and they've already been friends for countless years, I think they will sign him in the offseason. I don't think they'll sign him right now because they're not worried about money. It's just at this point, it's just if he wants to be here.
Yeah, and I think you were telling me. Obviously, I'm not in Carolina, but you said Raleigh's not really like like you're not going to have the big fame like walking down the street. Obviously, you might get recognized, but it's not going to be anywhere where it's like if you're in LA or somewhere like even in Dallas, probably where you're going to get recognized. I mean, you're on one of those bigger teams, but I mean, it would suck to see after having Ranton and it was just kind of like the Gensel situation last year for the Hurricanes, where you signed the guy and I mean, Gensel did, I would say, not like as best as we expected from Gensel, but he did all he could. And it's like Ranson is trying here, but it just seems to kind of be out of the groove. Obviously, new team, obviously you're going to get that, but yeah, I think he's got a good connection there, like you said, with the even with the Four Nations playing with JK and Aho from the Finnish connection there. But you really would hate to see him go. But if you went to the Stars, I think Stars. I don't know. Wyatt Johnston's been kind of heating up here. I don't know if you're a Stars fan, you want to let him go. And Stankoven, obviously, is he still considered a rookie this year? Or
I don't think he's considered a rookie this year.
okay,
I don't believe.
But still young skaters they have there in Dallas, so they got some pieces to move. But I mean, it really makes no sense if you're the Hurricanes here. You let go of Marty Necas to get Rantanen, and then why would you get rid of Rantanen to get Wyatt Johnston or Stankoven, or like one or the other? It's moving a big piece to get little return. So it's like it was a losing situation there. Seems like for the Hurricanes, but I think Rantanen's got to stay. It's got to work itself out at some point. I mean, he's one of the best players in the league, so it's really fun watching him play as well.
I'm with you on that one. I think they should keep him, even if it's just for a chance with the cup. I mean, you put Rantanen, Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis in your top 6, you're gonna have a good chance. And if you get the cup, then wow, no one cares if he resigns. Like obviously you want him to, but it's like wow, you just won the cup with him. It was worth it. And I think that's really important. But now we'll go on to the last question here. What teams do you think sell and what teams buy? I mean, we went over the buyers a little bit. I think Vegas is still going to buy. They're always going to be buyers at the deadline. Big market team, as well as who else is going to buy? Probably Predators. Predators are going to be sellers because they went for a big offseason. Didn't work out for them. Team didn't mesh well.
Yeah,
I don't know. I doubt they'll sell Marchessault or Stamkos or a big name like that, but they're going to sell some of those players in attempt to make a run next year. Kraken have started to sell a little bit.
Yeah.
Jared McCann's been in trade talks. I don't know. A lot of rumors around this time of the year. You don't know what's real, what's fake. So, yeah, that's about it for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we just saw the Kraken get rid of Gordon Bjorkstrand for Isemont and a couple first rounders, which honestly I like for the Kraken. The team is known to be young, let's just keep the young, I think McCann, if they keep him, they keep him. If not, at least let's get something, maybe another draft pick for him. But
yeah,
because you see
a draft pick or at least another young player.
Exactly.
As they're not going to make a run anytime soon. I don't believe with their current roster, they're going to have to make some moves over there.
Yeah, not at all.
You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Give it to me.
You know what time it is. Here we go. Here we go.
All right. Come on. Raise that roof. Come on. All right,
righty. Kid. And wouldn't you know it, your Carolina Hurricanes are up on this one.
Well, all right, let's see if I can pick out any here. I don't know if I can pick out any. Let's see.
I am going to put this one down before I forget because we brought him up earlier in that trade.
Wow, look at that.
Maple Leafs, Hall of Fame. Matt Sundin here.
Hey, Sundin.
Trachy.
Hey, Rye. Canadians got a lot, don't they?
I want to say Ray Bork. I could be wrong. Oh, no. Incorrect.
What about, let's see. All right. Caps. Let's try to bang the Hurricanes one out first so we don't look at least stupid.
Yeah.
Passer ready. Look at that.
I think Malhotra, this could be a 0.3 Manny Malhotra. Come on now.
Wow.
Come on.
Now we go into the danger zone here.
Caps and the Leafs. That would be. Oh, I should have done Pacioretty for that one. Now we're in trouble.
He's got another name though.
Sandin.
Out of way.
Free advertisements on our stream, not going to happen, folks.
Get out of here.
Get out of town. Canadians and the Capitals. Oh. Oh, I do know one, actually. Lars Eller. And then we will go with...
What a solid iMac here done by the Toast Man himself.
Let's see. Hall of Fame. I'm just drawing a blank on the old Canadians players. Oh, no.
What about like a goaltender? Like someone who was in goal for them.
That's what I'm trying to think. I can't think
of.
Canadians. Hall of Fame. Canadians Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm as lost as a fish in the goddamn ocean here. Saltwater fish in a freshwater area.
Canadians in the Hall of Fame. That would be... I don't know. I can't think of one right off the top of my head right now. I'm trying to think of their defensemen.
I can think of so many runs from the Red Wings. I keep getting the Red Wings mixed up with the Canadians from like the original six, and I'm just like, did he play the Canadians? But no.
No. I'm gonna go one random guess here. Let's go with, for now, it's Esposito.
That'd be first name Tony or first name Bill?
No, I didn't know which one. I don't know. I was gonna put Lafleur, but I didn't know if he was an Islander or not. All right,
Chara. Hey, we'll take it.
That
was basically a solo man mission.
Hey, that's all right.
Actually, it was 100% a solo man mission. All right, on now to the NBA and March Madness. First on March Madness, I'll ask you this first. Who is your favorite of this top 10 to look forward to in this upcoming tournament, which starts just around the corner here?
Favorite, I would have to go. Ooh, that is a tough one. I'd say Cooper Flag. I mean, it's a generic pick. Everyone's going to say Cooper Flag, but he truly is outstanding. The way he plays with such energy and fight. I mean, it's impressive to watch. I believe he's 18 years old, and he is just a star in the making.
It really is insane. I'd say I'd love watching him play last year. Mark Sears from Alabama. I think, that team is really, it struggles when he's not on the court. And he's a real threat. He shoots the deep ball, but he can also drive to the rack and score underneath and get a tough two when the team needs it. Kind of like Caleb Love, who, actually Caleb Love can go there on the right pictured there, but he does go on some cold streaks, obviously. But when Caleb Love is hot, God, that guy is hot. I remember we watched a couple games ago, I believe, the Arizona, they were unranked at the time. They were playing, God, I want to say Iowa State. I could be wrong, but it was when Caleb Love hit like a half quarter to go to.
Oh, yeah. Three-quarter court shot, and he swished it, I believe.
Yeah. Just to go to overtime.
Iowa State.
I think it was, right? Yeah.
And then they go on to absolutely delete them in overtime.
Yeah.
So
I might have
that
had money
shot
there on
ended up being helping them win. I would say Caleb Love probably is my second favorite player to watch on this list. It's incredible how he can shoot, how he can drive, dunk. I think he has a chance to go to the NBA. It's a late first round or second round pick. I don't know how tall he is. I think that would be one of the main issues scouts see. But this March Madness can be really interesting when you see all these star players. They can carry their team. And the new college basketball, I mean, NIL has really changed everything. You see BYU is ranked, and that's not a team you would think would be ranked, especially after losing their head coach, Mark Pope, to Kentucky. So it's like,
yeah,
you can find a team out of anywhere. I mean, Creighton is always good. They got Kalkbrenner, they got Stephen Ashworth who can shoot the three ball. They just usually struggle when they get to the Sweet 16.
yeah.
Texas A&M just came off a big win off of Tennessee.
Yep.
And or no, it was Auburn.
It was, I was gonna say it was Auburn, and that's leading to my next point there. Yeah, obviously, Janai Broom, he's great. He makes a lot of tough shots. I believe he's like 6'11". He's a goddamn freak of nature, that guy. But who? I'll say mine first, and then you can come after me. Pause. But who is your favorite, and who are we gonna tell people to put in their bracket? And after. I won't say I'm convinced that Auburn won't win it all, even though they did just lose to A&M. That was at A&M, and Auburn was a very tired team.
One of the toughest environments you can play in if it's football or basketball. So
exactly.
I couldn't say I'm surprised on that loss, but
no,
they shouldn't have any of those in the tournament because
that's what I'm saying.
Crowds are going to be 50-50, if not 60-40 Auburn for most of those games.
Yeah, and I'm really thinking that, Janai Broom can take over the first couple games where they play the 16 seed, and then, winner of, another low seed, probably 10 or 11 or something like that. I see them having no problem making it to the Sweet 16. And, but as we did see, they were tired coming off that game. God, I probably heard it like 100 times during that broadcast when I watched that game. Yeah, Auburn's just tired coming into this game. You can see it on the court, but it's like, they were tired, yet they still only lost by, I think it was 6 points to A&M in A&M. And let's not sleep on how good A&M is, who could also be another runner into the Elite Eight or Sweet 16, no matter, So
their defense swarms and it suffocates you all night. And that's what makes it tough because they're not going to give up many points.
No, exactly.
I would say for my guess, I'm not going to say Duke because everyone's going to say that. I will go with, this is a bold pick. The Gonzaga Bulldogs. They have had a terrible season, up and down. They've lost close games. That's their issue. They can't win the close games. Yep. But Mark Few in the tournament, he makes it to the Elite Eight quite a bit. I think they get to the Elite Eight and maybe on into the Final Four. They can score the basketball. They got one of the best offenses in college basketball. So that's not a problem for them. It's going to come down to, can they defend and can they win those close games? And I think they can. So that's going to be my pick. I'm going to make a bold pick and say the Gonzaga Bulldogs get it done.
Okay. I like it. And I can't say I don't agree with you. And I mean, somehow they always seem to tend to make it there, but moving on, let's get into the NFL. God, I love talking about the NFL, but we've had some big acquisitions just coming up, as well as a new signing. As you see first there up, T. Higgins franchise tagged again. So second year in a row that the Bengals have given that thing to TT over there, this time for $26 million. I believe Jamar Chase tweeted something pretty funny. I don't remember exactly what it was after T. Higgins got franchise tagged, but what do you think about that? I mean, the Bengals also just let I just saw before we started recording this, Trey Hendrickson. They're letting their best defensive player, Sam Hubbard actually just retired from the NFL. So across from him, you had Trey Hendrickson.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so you had Sam Hubbard there after 7 years. He retired, and so across the line from him on the other defensive end. The number one sack leader in the NFL last year, Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals, I just got an alert that they are letting him seek trade. And if you're a Bengals fan, I mean, the biggest thing that you're worried about was the defense. And, well, you might be fucked here because you're going to let Trey Hendrickson go.
They also haven't signed Jamar Chase, so.
No, exactly.
They don't have Jamar Chase signed. They don't have T. Higgins signed. I mean, those Bengals fans are hanging on the edge of their seat right now. I mean, It's definitely interesting that they're letting Trey Hendrickson walk. That might be, or seek trade, sorry. I believe that might be an efforts to Higgins and Chase or just Chase.
Yeah.
I believe, I don't think they're going to sign Higgins again as much as Burrow loves throwing to him. I just don't think they have the money to do that and shore up that defense that struggles. I did see Joey Bosa also just
Yeah.
got cut. So I don't know if they'll have a chance to go for him. I haven't seen any rumors on that, but we'll definitely talk about that in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I could see that 100% happening, as you lose both your defensive ends, unless you're going for the draft here, drafting someone as well. But, moving on to Pete Carroll's new team there, and where I just came out of the weekend from, I'm so a little shooken up from it. I was getting my groove on down there. I was getting my groove on the nightclubs down there. But the Raiders, dude, the hell's going on there in the quarterback room? Gardner Minshew just got released as well. So you've got Aiden O'Connell, but you got Darnold and Wilson and Fields are all still not signed. I don't know what Darnold's, what Minnesota's plan is. I don't really care, but it would be
Nobody really.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see. You obviously can't keep, even in Pittsburgh, you can't keep Wilson and Fields in Pittsburgh. That's just a waste of talent. So are the Raiders gonna do something, or are they gonna have a reunion there with Lockett as well? As we'll get into that later with the whole Seattle wide receiver room getting all shooken up. But are we gonna see a reunion there?
Evan, you don't start that. You don't start that.
I'm gonna start it right
now.
No,
you don't start that.
I'm starting it right now.
You don't start that. Because Metcalf asked for a trade, and I am sick and tired of this.
Deuces to DK Metcalf, and as well as Tyler Lockett. You've got JSN holding down the fort there with wide receiver number 2, I believe was Jake Boba, like the Boba Tea. Just kidding. I know it's Bobo, but we're going to call him Boba Tea for now.
Because he's a good player out there. I don't
All
think
right,
that's a wide receiver 2, though.
That's it. Jake Bobo is doing nothing here for the Seahawks as a wide receiver 2. Come on. He's a special teams player.
Which makes you think, could they go for T. Higgins, Amari Cooper? I mean, who knows?
I don't know, man. But as I'm saying, as not a Seahawks fan, I could give less of a rat's ass about what they do there in that receivers room.
Oh, that's enough out of you.
All right, yeah.
We're going to find a new guest post, folks, for next week. I mean, I think he's done here.
The D-Town Boogie. The D. Oh.
America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about how they did absolutely nothing this year. Nothing.
Nope, they did nothing, but who else did nothing was the Seahawks. And, I think with the quarterback.
Right, sadly, you are right.
With Dak going down here, I don't know why we tried with goddamn Cooper Rush to try to win games. Where was he going to take us? Absolutely nowhere. So we still decided to win games for absolutely no reason. But the Cowboys, seeking maybe a backup here in Sam Darnold to put him behind Dak, that would be pretty awesome as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I just don't think distracted from that question.
Yeah,
I mean, once you brought up the Seahawks receiver room, it was trouble.
Yeah, I got a little riled up there, and I loved it. I loved every second.
I could see the Raiders go for Geno Smith as well.
Wow, I've actually seen some rumors about that. I believe getting Geno down there to Vegas, but back to that, what if Wilson Lockett, a little reunion with Pete Carroll down there?
That would be very cool.
Marshawn Lynch has got
Carroll and Wilson got along there at the end of their tenure in Seattle.
Yeah, probably not.
I think that was some of the issue.
I can see that 100% being some of the issue, but that'll be for sure something that we'll keep our eyes on for upcoming week's episodes. But fresh off the NFL Combine here, a stat that we really didn't pick up on: only 3 quarterbacks ran the 40-yard dash. It's pretty weird to me to see that Milroe didn't run, and I've seen a lot of comments on how Milroe's kind of draft stock went down a little bit because he didn't show his freak athleticism like Anthony Richardson, for example, did. Anthony Richardson can't stay healthy in the league, obviously, but I mean, his combine really boosted his draft stock up. That's why he got taken so high. And, I'm not saying he's not a raw talent in the league still, but if he can't stay healthy, there's no point in, even trying at that point. I mean, he's just running the ball, getting banged up. But the fact that only 3 quarterbacks showcased their speed, and I believe the top speed was like a 4.64 out of those 3. So kind of a weird day, a weird year for the NFL Combine quarterback wise. Going into those 3 players underneath Quinshaw Judkins, Matthew Golden, and Brady Cook, who was with one of the quarterbacks. They all saw their draft stock rise. I don't know if you watched much of the combine or heard much news about that, but obviously Judkins and Golden, a key factor on both the Ohio State for Judkins and Texas for Golden, making a deep run, obviously with Ohio State winning it all in the CFP. But Ohio State had Judkins and Travion Henderson, and they really looked pretty solid at the combine posting. They looked solid, obviously, in college, but yeah, I don't know if you kept up with most of that, but those posted some good times in the 40 as well.
I actually didn't keep up much with the combine this year, working a lot on the weekends, and that's when the combine goes down.
All right, well, the college lifestyle here, as I'll have to do a little bit of a location change mid-episode. That's just how we do it here. It's like nothing ever happened. But getting back onto the subject here, yeah, did you get to watch any of the combine? I know the combine's kind of losing viewers as it's kind of getting not as interesting as it used to be, but did you get a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch much. I just saw a few of the videos of the people running the 40s. I saw that a lot of quarterbacks didn't participate. I believe Shador, Cam Ward, the big names like them did not participate at all. I know Cam Ward was in attendance. But it's like they're just going to go have a pro day at their own
exactly
their own school. They're going to be throwing to receivers that they're used to. So, I mean, I think that's why they do that. They want to throw to receivers they're used to. They know when they're going to do this route, the speed they're going to run it at. So I think that's the main thing. But
let me tell you, Shador was at the combine and he wore more ice than I've ever seen before. Too. It's like, gosh, come on, Shador. Jesus,
I mean,
you can't running a 40 with all that.
Deal.
Yeah, running a 40 with all that jewelry on. Maybe run like a 5.5 flat there. Golly, but
I mean, Shador Sanders. I mean, here's a guy that can wear any necklace you can think of.
God, little Collinsworth there, but
had to channel my inner Collinsworth as I saw the Bengals, T. Higgins.
Love it. As we go though from the combine, as our last kind of NFL talk before we get into some questions from the NFL. How about the Commanders juicing up that receiver room? They traded about a bag of Tim's family-size jalapeno chips and maybe a couple packs of Gushers for Deebo Samuel. You could actually probably put him there behind Brian Robinson in the running back room. But whatever you want for Deebo, he'll fit in himself. Last season didn't look 100% the best. Obviously, with McCaffrey out half the season, Deebo tried to fill in that role in the backfield. But I think that was a pretty smart move by the Commanders to pick up Deebo. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they got a star at quarterback already, and it's crazy to say that. I don't even have to say it's a star brewing. It is a star already in Jane Daniels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And now they add Deebo Samuel, a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, as Chris Collinsworth would say. And, I mean, he can run it. He can do the end around. He can receive it. I mean, as long as he can stay healthy, I don't see anything stopping that offense. I mean, they're already unstoppable. And they have Terry McLaurin, and who was their second guy? Second receiver.
It was like
Diami Brown.
It was like Brown or Zacchaeus. One of those two was their number 2, and they made it that far, scoring that many points too against the Lions into the NFL playoffs last year.
I mean, the Lions got felted.
Yeah, felted.
Everyone's like, they're going to come back, and Jared Goff looked like a bag of Tim's chips. I mean, he did not look like he was worth a lot. But
yeah, no.
The Niners just wanted to get something as they felt Deebo wasn't going to re-sign.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you can't blame them either, But moving on here to our NFL questions, as you can see, our 2 favorite NFL players, and I hate to bring it back up, but the only receiver left in that Seahawks receiver room just so happens to be his favorite player in the NFL as JSN. two star-studded receivers are our favorite NFL players across the league. Obviously, for our two respective teams that we are fans of. I can't give it to Micah Parsons yet, but I think CD just him and JSN kind of play a lot alike. I feel like you throw them the screens, and you try to get the ball in their hands, and you make them make a play.
I mean,
Um,
I like that play style. I mean, if your coordinator is going to give him the ball in many different situations, makes it that much harder to defend. For example, DK Metcalf is pretty one dimensional. You can't hand the ball off
yeah,
to him,
nope.
and they don't throw a lot of screens to him. But he's mainly a deep threat option. But yeah, JSN definitely my favorite player, which is crazy because he's only been in the league for 2 years. But I just love the way he plays. Not a cocky guy, just goes out there, does what he needs to do, and he's a great player.
No, yeah, for sure. Same with CD. CD a little more on the cockier side, but I kind of like that swagger to his game. I think
I
that
mean, when you're
for us,
that good, you got to be cocky.
yeah, exactly, that's true. But I think that
No one
the
can
real
guard him.
again the problem is with that in Dallas is he's getting fed up with Dak. You can see it. Everyone sees it. And he's not the only one that's getting fed up with like the inaccuracy. It's almost like as longer as in Dak's career, he's gotten more inaccurate with the ball placement. And I mean, if you don't have CD to go up and grab the ball, where he's like you're throwing it to a guy who like in a 5 foot radius. It's like hit the guy in stride, and then go let him make a play after that. But anyways, we'll move on from the Cowboys shit. I don't want to get. I can talk
I
for
think
hours
this was
about
a
it.
great question. This one came
Yeah,
from Ryan Gibson. Um,
Ryan.
this this one really made me think when we were doing the preparation to this. I mean, how do the Bills get over the hump and win the AFC Championship? In my eyes, I believe it would be to grab two cornerbacks that are going to be able to lock down some receivers because as you saw in that
Yeah,
AFC Championship game when it was Kyler Elam, I believe is his name. They were just attacking him. The Chiefs were going after him. They were calling PIs on him, and he
yep.
just was no match for uh, any of the Chiefs receivers. And I mean, when you have speed like Xavier Worthy, I mean, you can put a guy like Elam in the blender, and they're going to be 7 yards in the clear. So I thought
Get
that was really.
blended. But yeah,
Do you think they need to add some more offensive weapons? Because I know they're losing Amari Cooper, which that was kind of a weird deal. When they grabbed
it
Cooper,
was.
I'm like, they're going to throw to him 7 times a game, grab 5 catches a game minimum. And did he even catch a ball in that AFC championship? He might have got one, but I
Dude,
mean,
I don't know.
what's the point of trading anything if you're not even going to throw to the guy?
Yeah, I mean, Amari Cooper, obviously, again, coming off, he was on the Cowboys for a few years where he did great on the Cowboys. You gave him the ball, but like you said, you gave him the ball about like 6 or 7 times a game. You got to get the ball in his hands again. He's a great route runner still for being in the league as long as he has. He can still run those crisp routes. But I do, yes, getting back to the question, I do think the Bills need to add another offensive weapon. Obviously, they just signed Shakir to actually a pretty big deal for Khalil Shakir, who really did showcase last year his talent. He's a very shifty little guy. Kind of reminds me, honestly, of JSN, the way he can he's very shifty once he gets the ball in his hands as well. But yeah, as you said, back up to the defensive side, you do because Josh Allen. I mean, you saw it last year. The offense was. I mean, James Cook, great running back. Don't take anything away from him, but Josh Allen, he'll put up points for you no matter who's on the offensive side of the ball. But as the Bengals see the problem too, it doesn't matter how many points you put up if your defense will let up more points than what you're putting up. So it's like if you're going to help the quarterback out or the team out at all on offense, they lost Tre'Davious White 2 years ago to the believe on the Rams now, and look where the Rams got. Rams got all the way on their defensive side. Obviously they have a lot of good young talent on their defense as well, and Jared Verse. But the Rams got far just losing to the Eagles in that game last year in the playoffs. So the Bills have a lot of humps to get over, but don't get me wrong. If they get over that defensive hump, maybe get one more. Not saying you have to go get a big name guy for Josh Allen, but if they get another little weapon on offense, maybe a little better than Mari Cooper, and then a couple more young guys on defense, or make a trade, dude, don't be afraid if you see the Bills in that Super Bowl next year.
I mean, I really thought this was going to be their year. I thought they were
Yeah,
going to get past the Chiefs. I know you walk into Arrowhead, or I believe they
Yeah,
changed the name now, but I mean that crowd is raucous when they're
yeah.
going, oh, oh, the
I
whole
mean,
damn
come
game. I
on.
mean, does that not rattle
Yeah,
you? I mean, come on.
I mean,
But I mean, I think they get a few defensive pieces and they're gonna make the Super Bowl no problem. I
oh, for
know
sure.
Travis Kelsey announcing he will be back. That definitely scares some opponents, but I mean, I think the Bills get into the Super Bowl this year. Um, but now we'll transition to the draft. And as a Seahawks fan myself, knowing the Seahawks have the 18th overall pick, I am curious to see what they'll do. I want them to draft a quarterback, maybe even trade up a few picks. I did see Jackson Dart in the combine. He looked great. And I also watched him
Yeah.
quite a few times at Ole Miss because most of those games are on ESPN as they uh, have now taken over the SEC. And man, those games against Florida, Georgia, Alabama, I mean, he just really played well. And he obviously didn't have the recruits that those schools had. He did have great recruits, but when you're playing against talent like Alabama and Georgia, I mean, it makes it so much harder, especially in those hostile environments. So I would like to see Dart or even trade up and grab Cam Ward.
Oh, wow. Bold call from the Toast Man there to Cam Ward.
Cam Ward would be great for them. He's elusive. He can throw the ball in tight windows, and I think that's what they'll need as they're losing Lockett and Metcalf. So I think that's really important to look at.
Well, I think we all know at the end of that slide what it's time for here once more time again. Oh, come on. Hit me with it.
What time
Come
is it?
on.
What time
Come
is it?
on. I'm in.
There it is. Here we go.
All right, let me see if I can contribute here on this one at least.
I do these
All right.
every single day. Fun fact. And the NFL is darn near impossible to get 9 out of 9
I was
because
gonna
there's not
say,
many trades.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, well, let's
I
see,
do know
10,000
one for the
passing
first
yards.
one because of
Good, because
Riverboat Run.
hey, how about our alumni here from WSU, Frankie Luvu, Mister hopping
Frankie.
over the. God, it was great, dude. Love watching him play. Let's see, Commanders, Falcons. How about we hit him with nonetheless Kirko James? I mean,
That
that's
is a good one.
probably the number one answer, but I mean, I couldn't tell you another one to be fair. Oh, nothing. All
That's
right,
wild,
24.
24%.
All right,
If
10,000
you guys did
passing
not catch
yards.
the first episode, we are looking for the lowest percentage possible.
Yep.
Um,
Let's see.
10,000 passing yards. Case Keenum. I'm gonna say this. I know he's been a backup, but you think he has 10,000?
I was gonna go with maybe like an Alex Smith type instead of Case Keenum,
Yeah, let's do Alex Smith.
just to be safe here.
Nice.
There we
Nice.
go. Let's see. Should we just bang out? I mean, what's like a
I
under
think I know a good one. Brock Osweiler. He was a starter. He has to.
Oh,
Oh no!
yeah, I was gonna say that's a little
That's on
risky
me.
bisky.
I thought he started 4 seasons, so
Let's go so we don't go with Favre or let's do like what do you like Culpepper for the
I
Vikings.
was gonna say Culpepper would
Dante,
be
can I
a
have
good
your
one.
Culpepper?
Dolphins. Who is a Dolphin? Who was the quarterback before Tua? Do you remember?
God, dude. I mean, only Dolphins quarterback I can think of is Dan Marino, or as some would say, our Joey Ertley lookalike.
Shout out Jones.
Shout out Jones. I mean, I
Dan
really couldn't
Marino.
even. Yeah, who was it? I feel like I'm dumb for not even
Oh,
thinking about.
I know Teddy Bridgewater. Do you
Okay,
think
I don't know if he has 10,000. It's risky,
we
but
got it? We got to go for. Wow,
Teddy,
Teddy.
nice.
All right. How
Oh
about the
shit, we
Falcons?
could have fuck, we could have used Teddy for the Panthers Dolphins, couldn't we have?
That's
Or no?
definitely no for the Vikings. The Vikings Panthers.
Oh God. All right,
We
let's
could
see.
use them for any of them.
Yep. Let's see. Falcons, Vikings. Oh God, dude. I mean,
Falcons, Vikings. Could not tell you at the moment. Falcons.
who the hell is on the Falcons?
I want to say that no, the Grimes cornerback.
Did he? I know he played on the Dolphins. Did he play on
Yeah,
the Falcons?
I don't think he did. What about Keanu Neal? Did he play for the Dolphins? No.
Because the Panthers. I mean, shit. I could tell you. I could tell you less about the Panthers if I'm being honest. I don't know anything about the Panthers, but God,
yeah, Steady Teddy would have been great.
Falcons, Vikings, Falcons, Dolphins, Panthers. I feel like Panthers, Vikings should be kind of a little easier, but
oh, I do know one. Now that you say that, the DN.
Jared Allen. Wow, yeah, there you go, great pick. And our last guess, he has one. Oh,
Peck. No, he didn't play for the Dolphins.
I don't think he did.
No,
that's all right. I mean, it is what it. We'll get him one time. We'll get one of these one time.
I mean, the NFL's a tough one.
But here, we'll moving on from that. We'll kind of give. We won't spend too much time here, as we do want you guys to kind of give us more questions on this section, as well, as it's still spring training, and I don't know about. I mean, both of us, we're not really the biggest until it gets into the later season for baseball. We're not the biggest baseball guys, but we are both big Mariners guys. And the first question up there is, will the Mariners reach 80 wins this season? And frankly, my friend, with no addition basically to the offensive side of the ball, I just can't see them doing I can't see them doing anything different than exactly what they did last year. I mean, number one pitching staff, and as Justin Turner did tweet, he goes, "Yeah, I wanted to stay in Seattle, but they really gave me they didn't add anything for me to stay. They have the best pitching staff in the whole MLB, which is factually correct. We do have the best pitching staff in the whole MLB, but they didn't add any weapons on offense. Like, what do you got to say about that? I mean, that's got to be concerning for a Mariners fan.
I mean, for sure. I think personally they do get to 80 wins, but I think it's going to take a stretch of them being a very hot, at least a 10-game win streak, which they did 2 or 3 years ago to get in the playoffs.
Yep.
And they're going to have to, the toughest thing for them is going to be beating the Rangers and the Astros. That's what they struggle with the most. And most teams don't have to go through that because they're not in the AL West. But the Rangers pitching staff with DeGrom, they got Kumar Rocker. They got they got more pitchers down there. I can't even think of it.
Don't they have Eovaldi too? Nathan Eovaldi?
Eovaldi, yep, that's their second. Yeah. They lost Scherzer. He wasn't really himself down there. But I think the Mariners can get it done, but they're going to have to get 1 or 2 bats at the trade deadline, which I think Dipoto has no problem doing, as he is accustomed to making trades. I think Randy Arozarena settles in. It looks like the outfielders, Robles, Rodriguez, Arozarena, they formed a bond here in the offseason.
For sure.
The re-signing of Polanco, I think he'll have a way better year. At third base, I don't know who we have.
It's going to be Polanco at third base, I'm pretty sure. I think they're switching him to third. Yeah. And then short's going to be obviously
Dylan Moore.
Yep, second will be Dylan Moore, and then we'll have Locklear at first base, which I don't mind that. You got young Locklear at first base, who actually he played not bad in my opinion for when he got the call to play in the
he was pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they can do it if they get bats. If they don't, then no, I don't think they do. Definitely very optimistic about the Mariners, but
Yep.
They'll find a way to
100%.
screw it up. And if you guys want to hate on the Mariners, you will want to be here every week because we will do that. We will hate
Yep.
on them and we'll love them. Then we'll hate them again because
Yep.
that is the Mariners fan. That's what you do. All
It's
right.
true. I mean,
Now we're going to say
it's hard.
this question is for you, Evan.
All right.
Can the LA Dodgers go back to back World Series titles?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they can. I mean, is that
I
even a
mean,
question? I
not
mean,
even. It's
you
not
talk
even a
about a
question.
super team. I mean, like, come on. Like, what are we doing over there in LA? Like, you're gonna sign they might now take over as the best pitching staff in baseball, which is like shit, dude. I mean, they just threw money at Yamamoto, threw money down there. They got Blake Snell. Wait, they have Blake Snell now? Or no, is
Yes.
that a different team? Yeah,
They got
Blake
Blake
Snell.
Snell, and not to add, maybe even better than both of them, Rokai Sasaki, the
Yeah, like,
21-year-old phenom out of Japan. And I'm not talking Shohei Ohtani.
and we're not even talking about Otani. That's what the thing we haven't even mentioned him yet. But it's or Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman. It's like
And they
I'm just gonna
re-signed
stop there.
Oscar Hernandez for
Yep,
3 years. He had
I'm
his
just
best
stopping there.
career
Just
year because, guess what? If you're hitting behind Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei, you're going to be getting fastballs all day, all night because they got to get someone out. They can't attack Ohtani,
all
Freeman,
day, all night.
all day, all night. And
But
then
going
that
into that
leads into
next
our
question,
next
though,
question.
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
dude, let's see. Biggest threat in the West. I mean, I think that I think the Rangers could put up a great fight. If the Mariners can get down there, which is obviously being optimistic again as a Mariners fan, but those are probably. I mean, there's not a lot that can really challenge them in the West. I mean, I think they just have a great. I think they've got a great path to the World Series once again.
yeah, I mean, I think that question was written a little incorrectly
Oh
by
wait,
one of our
yes,
viewers, but
I'm
more
talking
of
AL
like
West,
the
anyways.
Giants, Diamondbacks,
Yeah,
adding Corbin
that was
Burns. That definitely has them contend more.
that was on
But
me. I totally misread that question there. I
no,
was like,
you're all good. What about the Padres? I know they lost
yeah,
quite a few players.
yeah. I don't think the Padres will be bad at all. I think they do pose a challenge. They always seem to do good. Like Tatis is always out like half the year, but somehow they always make it far. So it's
They
like
find a
when they
way.
come, yeah, they find a way. Whether it's pitching, or their bats. I think the Padres do have a great shot as well in the NL there. Um, but back to that Orioles and Corbin Burns. How about the Orioles, dude, with their young talent? I am trying to become a little Orioles fan myself, and I love seeing what Gunnar Henderson can do out there. And he really like Adley Rutschman, obviously great. Just he reminds me of Cal Raleigh, another switch hitting catcher. So that's why I think I like the Orioles dynamic so much. But yeah, with losing Corbin Burns, what do you think? Are they going to still kind of be atop the AL? I think they 100% can still be atop the AL.
I think you couldn't have read my mind anymore. I like the Orioles as well. I used to hate them,
Yeah,
but I mean, these
yeah.
young stars they have makes it interesting to watch. They got the Oriole bird just running around with the hose, just spraying the fans when they hit a home run. I mean, the
Yeah,
splash
dude. I
zone.
mean,
I do think they'll be atop the AL, but I don't know how they'll do. They lost John Means, who wasn't healthy for them last year, but more importantly, they lost Corbin Burns, who he's going to get you around 15 wins a season. So he wasn't too good for them last year for his standards. Was a top pitcher, but he wasn't as good as Corbin Burns usually is. I think. I think they lose to in the second round. I just don't think if they don't pick up any pitching at the deadline or even before then, that they're not going to be able to get past uh, the other teams like the Astros and the Yankees and Royals
no, for
if they make
sure,
it again. Uh,
for sure.
as they struggled to even score last year, which was crazy because no one thought they'd struggle to score. And then if you're not scoring, then your pitching needs to do even better. So that strains the pitching, strains the hitting. I mean, they're just going to have to learn from that. And Jackson Holiday, he'll have another year under his
Yeah.
belt. They're all going to be
Yeah,
more
you got to get called up
experienced.
again. 100%.
So I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. I just don't know how we'll do with the limited pitching, especially if they get matched up with the Yankees or someone with a big depth chart and pitching staff like the Yankees. So, but since we have such a short list for the MLB, you know what time it is again.
I'm
Here
All
we
right.
go.
Let's
I
see.
do
Here we
have
go.
the first two easily.
Okay.
I actually have three, as we'll try and
First
keep our
client.
viewers entertained here.
I like that. Yeah, we'll try to move a little faster through these last. We just got the NBA to talk about, and then we got some questions for you guys, and then we'll wrap it up. But let's get this iMac going here. Who we got? Who's that up there? Is that Solaire?
Soler
Nice.
shot, Nick Markakis. I know
Acuna, yeah, for sure.
Let's do another stolen base. I might have to wait on that one because I don't. 300 season. I believe Barry Bonds was hitting.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Orioles 300. I don't believe Henderson did. So that means we would have to do.
How about just like the OG, Cal Ripken Jr.
Cal Ripken Jr.
Probably.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right.
Did Ichiro ever steal 30 bags? He probably did.
Yeah, let's get me. Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Cubs and Orioles.
Cubs and Orioles. Nice. Arietta.
And it comes down to one. Oh, mama, I
couldn't even tell you about this one, dude. I want did Dansby Swanson ever do it? I don't think so. Yeah.
You got to think outfielders. Those are the speeds.
I was gonna say nope. PCA.
I knew you were gonna say PCA because I was about to say him, but I don't think.
No, there's no way
he didn't games last year.
No, I was gonna say after this year, probably yeah. But oh god, who else?
Sosa didn't. There's no way Sosa did. Dexter Fowler didn't.
Yeah, are we sure Sosa didn't?
No way Sosa was stealing bags.
You're right.
I think MLB The Show. Who are the legends?
I know. That's what I'm trying to think of here.
Ryan Sandberg didn't. Center fielders for the Cubs.
Ryan Sandberg.
No.
So are we sure him or Sosa didn't do it?
No way. I feel like Bellinger? No way.
I was gonna say that too, but I was like, no shot.
Should we do PCA and just risk it here? I don't think he did though.
Yeah, there's just no way. But I mean, I'm lost.
No.
Oh,
Sandberg!
It was Sandberg. Wait, click it. Did Sosa do Did Sosa maybe do it too? I don't. Oh, there's only 49 options. I mean, come on. That's a hard one.
I don't think it'll.
Okay, that's fine. We'll move on
from that.
Move on to the NBA here. And here we go to the NBA. Obviously, the biggest news right now, Kyrie Irving is done. I mean, I hate it. I love watching Kyrie play. He's absolutely amazing. And it really sucks. I mean, for the fans, and I'm not a Mavericks fan, even though I am a Cowboys fan, but I mean, if you're a Mavericks fan, I can't imagine what you're going through right now after losing your star in Luka for Anthony Davis. Not saying that Anthony Davis is not a star himself, but Anthony Davis is also hurt now, not to the extent of Kyrie. and then you see your number one and Kyrie Irving just tear his ACL, and that can't be good at all. But what do you got to say about that, dude? Kyrie's done, and he
I
hit the
don't
2 free throws, and then he's just done. He's done.
I don't even have words for that. I mean, he's one of the best point guards of all time, and he is so fun to watch, especially with. It's honestly for me more fun to watch him without those great players, because then
Yeah.
he's
Oh
going to
yeah.
carry the team on his back, and it just shows all the ability he has. It's obviously going to be straining on a older man like him now, but I mean, just terrible news. I was hoping it wasn't an ACL, but as a sports fan, it's probably going to be an ACL if those guys go out, because it takes everything to knock them
Yeah.
out of the game. And I mean, gosh, that hurts. It just hurts. And especially losing Doncic, and then AD's out for quite a while. So it's like, as a Mavs fan, I don't even know what I'd be experiencing.
Well, on the other end of that trade, though, and if we head over back to LA, as LeBron has just hit 50,000 career points, that trade seems to be working out pretty goddamn well for the Lakers. If they have now won 7 straight games, yeah, I think the Lakers are legit this year. As we talked about in our last episode, they're my favorites to win the finals this year. As Luka is dropped when he drops. I mean, he almost had a triple double the other night. I mean, he had a triple double about a week ago, and he's dropping 30 now. I mean, dude, they're a scary team to be messing with here.
Yeah, I've been tuning into those games, as those are the late night games. So usually they're one of the only teams on, but it's the Lakers. Everyone's going to be tuning in.
Yep.
Doncic has looked way more comfortable after the first 2 games, obviously coming off an injury. It was probably more the injury than it was him playing in a total new system. But they've looked really good. LeBron looks great at the age of 43, I believe. I mean, he looks like he's 20. It's ridiculous what he's been able to do. But, I think the Lakers are going to go deep in the playoffs. The way they're playing, they've been playing without Reeves and Hachimura for, I believe, 4 of those 7 games, too, who are starters. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that just shows how deep that team is, how good they are. And
this
then
also
also,
proves what Luka can do for Reeves too. Luka can get Reeves open. Reeves can just catch and shoot.
absolutely.
'Cause Reeves is also a ball handler, so it goes vice versa. They can set each other up, or they can set up. Jackson Hayes has looked great too from their setups.
I
Obviously,
believe he had
Luka does his
20
part.
points 2 nights ago,
Yeah, the
which is
kid Jackson
incredible for
Hayes.
him because he only plays about 20 minutes a game, usually less if Hachimura's in the lineup. But also, because of the trade deadline, since acquiring Jimmy Butler, the Warriors have won 8 of 10 games.
Yeah, they look real good, dude. They look real good. Steph is in his
I
groove
didn't
right
think
now.
this
He's
would be
back.
that big of a addition for them. Like, obviously a big addition. I didn't think it'd be an 8-2 run for them. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, for sure.
Steph, it has opened it up for Steph. He's not getting triple team because you can't triple team him anymore when they have another star like that. So I guess it is big for them, as they've really thrived as they beat the Knicks in the Garden the other night, which is a big win.
Yeah, and then obviously we've got the Cavs on fire with 11 straight, but back to the Western Conference and SGA, 50 points for the 4th time this season. Dude, that guy, if he's not your MVP this year, obviously you can make an argument for Jokic again, as you probably can for the next, I don't know, 5 years. You could say Jokic should be MVP. But Shea is playing out of his mind. Shea, however you want to say it. And I mean, dude, I think that with him and Jalen Williams, if they're both on their A game, dude, that team is real scary.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, they're young, they want it. And when you have a guy that can drop 50 almost whenever he wants, it seems. I know it's only 4 times, but obviously most of those games they just blow out the other team. So he's not actually playing the fourth quarter. I
Exactly.
mean, they could definitely win the Western Conference. I think it comes down to experience, though, when they are playing those more hostile environments, full crowds, full arenas. I mean, that's when it's way tougher, when every game's going to come down to the last 2 minutes and you got to
Yeah.
be damn near perfect, because you got to defend and you got to score every time. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble because
Yeah,
you let
100%.
a good team, uh, LeBron and Luka, you got Jokic, Jamal Murray, they can take over a game at any time. So you're going to have to be able to stop them and then be able to score on them as well. So that's definitely tough.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then we have the Hornets losing longest. I mean, gosh, we don't have to talk too much about the Hornets, as you
We
really
do.
only can talk about
It's
only can
just a
talk about
trend.
LaMelo
We're
Ball
going
over
to put
there.
it up there. We don't need to talk
Yeah,
about the Hornets as they're
exactly. But yeah, well, to wrap up before we get into the last iMac and to wrap up our second episode of this podcast, we want to hear from you guys. Like, what are questions from us? And we have questions for you guys as well here posted on this slide, as we answered last week kind of what we thought the NBA can do to improve the All-Star game and their festivities, but what do you guys think they can do? Um, Obviously, is there any reason for Cooper Flag to stay at Duke, as he got the one more year chant in his last game there and at Duke? I mean, I don't know about you, but I really don't think so. He's just proven to be such raw talent. He's ready to go to the league. And then, yeah, last question for you guys is, can the Los Angeles Lakers make a deep run into the playoffs with not a great center? So we want to hear you guys and what you guys have to say, and then we'll read those answers on our next episode, and then we'll kind of bounce off you guys and chime in with our own answers as well. But
if we could get that in the comment section, we'll throw a little
yeah,
poll on our next episode, or maybe just on our YouTube. But we'll hop into the last iMac. Don't want to keep you guys too long here.
iMac. All right, the NBA, 10 rebounds per game. How about big Dominique Williams? Is that what you were thinking?
Wilkins.
Or Wilkins? Not
I was
Williams. God.
thinking Capella.
Acapella Clint. Nice.
Nope, I don't know if Dominique did. I didn't watch back in the 1920s. I know he
Oh, you
wasn't
weren't,
that old, but
yeah, I was there actually. I think I was big
I
friends with
believe it.
Dominique. The
I mean, we could
Bucks.
just get Giannis on this one.
Yeah, let's try to zoom through this here. Let's
Knicks,
see.
Mitchell Robinson, maybe. Should I do Mitchell?
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. No.
Nada. Let's go Lakers. Okay, let's see. Lakers Hawks.
Dennis Schroeder.
Yep.
But we could put him
Save
for
that.
the Warriors and the Hawks too. So
Actually, yeah. Let's save that.
we'll
Lakers
wait on
Hawks. We
that.
can do. Uh,
Fisher played for both, right?
Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, he did not. I thought he played for both. Maybe just the Lakers. Torian Prince we could do.
Yep, there you go.
Warriors and Knicks.
Well, technically, we could do Cat, for the Knicks 10 plus rebounds per game.
Yeah. No, I don't think, because it's got to be a full season, so I don't think it'll count.
Oh, okay. Okay. Knicks Lakers. God, I'm trying to think.
I think we
The
should
Lakers.
do Schroeder for this one.
Yeah, let's get that out of there. Dennis the Menace.
Dennis Schroeder here. Knicks 10. No, we'll wait on that. Knicks and Warriors. That's a tough one. Knicks and Warriors.
God, I'm even struggling thinking of like Lakers and those two teams, which I feel like I should get.
Lakers and Hawks. Yeah, I
Lakers gonna
can't.
feel dumb.
Knicks and Lakers. There's got to be some. Carmelo.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Carmelo Anthony.
Knicks and Warriors. I feel like Bucks and Warriors.
Did Oscar Robertson ever play for the Warriors?
Could not tell you.
I couldn't either. I'm only just like I'm thinking. Trying to think old.
10
like,
rebounds a game. Did Joakim Noah get that? Nope. Should we just try Towns for
yeah.
purpose of knowing?
Hey.
Oh, it did work.
Cat's out of the bag.
Cat
Well,
is out of the bag.
does that wrap it up for here? I think, Toast Man. I think that was a great episode. But thank you guys for listening. That was great. We had a lot of fun doing this. Obviously, I had to switch locations here, but the flow still went great, and we got a lot of informative episode, talking a lot of sports this time, over a little bit over an hour here. A lot of hockey, a lot of football, basketball, and then obviously for MLB, we want to hear what you guys have to say, and we'll obviously answer any questions related to any sports. But signing off here for episode 2, episode 3 coming next week. But it's been great talking this week, and we'll catch you guys next week. This has been Blake and Evan with Gross Sports Talks, and you guys, thanks for listening.
Yeah, I think that went great. Thank you to everyone that is watching. Feel free to give us some informative advice, as we're at the beginning stage of this. So we're just trying to go through new platforms. We're on StreamYard this time. Zoom, not very professional, but we were just trying to get to our viewers here. We're just going through all this stuff, trying to get through transitions, all that. But we appreciate each and every second you guys watch us, and want to get some questions about sports, what you guys want, if you guys want us to focus on certain teams, things like that. So other than that, great episode. Hope everyone can tune in, and we'll catch you next week for episode 3.